Your friends, they can wait they chance and come through. We can dance, we can kick the shit like kung fu. Give you half of my everything.
What is up, SL Nation? It's your girl Shay, and I'm back with another video. If you are new to this channel, please hit that red button and join the family. If you've been rocking with us for a while, welcome back. You guys, today I decided to do a little tribute to my mom. It is coming up on the anniversary of her passing, and days are getting a little bit hard, and I've just been thinking about her a lot. So I'm just doing a bunch of recipes to honor my mom. And what I'm going to be making today is her pot roast. You guys, my mom loved making pot roast. Like, that was probably her favorite thing to make, and she always made it. She made it at least 2-3 times a month, and I don't really make it very often, maybe once every couple months. But I had one in the freezer, and I was thinking about her because, you know, that day is coming up, and I was like, I'm gonna make my mom's favorite meal. And I just thought that it would be a great video to show you guys how my mom made her pot roast. And I'm also going to do a little remixing to her recipe. And I'll tell you guys what that is. So let's get started on the video. These are the seasonings that I'm going to be using for the pot roast. You're going to need about a teaspoon of each one of these. So black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, seasoning salt. This is optional, but I use this on everything. It's called Mrs. Dash. It's a salt-free seasoning blend. Garlic salt, parsley flakes, Worcestershire sauce. For this recipe, you're also going to need 1 bell pepper and 1 onion. I've already chopped these up in 2 slices. And you will also need some flour. Over here, I have a skillet that I have put a little olive oil in. You guys, maybe a 1/4 cup. Just coat the bottom of the pan with some olive oil. Let's get started on the roast. You want to make sure that you dry this really good before you season it up and put it in the skillet. You don't want to put the roast in the pot wet. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these seasonings that I've mixed together, and I am going to generously coat this roast on all sides. You guys can actually do this ahead of time too if you like. You can you know, marinate this overnight. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of flour and I'm going to sprinkle it on. And you don't need a lot of flour, you guys, just enough flour to coat the roast. And what we're doing here is we are going to do what's called sear the roast. We're going to sear it before we put it in the oven. You guys, searing the roast locks in all the flavors, the juices, and the seasonings. It also creates a little crust to lock in all those seasonings. So you want to get all sides of this with that flour. After you coat it with the flour and the seasoning, you want to go ahead and put it in a skillet at medium-high heat to sear in the flavor. I have my oven on about 8 right now. You just want to let that brown and lock in all those flavors. And you want to do this for about maybe 4 minutes per side. Okay, you guys, so it has been about 4 minutes, and I am going to go ahead and flip over the roast. And it looks like this. I know it's like, oh my God, it looks burned, but no, that's what you want. You want it to lock in those flavors. And so, yeah, this is actually really good. So 4 minutes on this side, and then I'll show you guys what the next step is. Okay, you guys, so it has been about 4 minutes. The last thing you want to do is you want to even sear these sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stand here and hold this for a few minutes on each one of these sides. You guys, after you have seared all the sides, you want to take the roast over to your roasting pan. You guys, this roasting pan was my mom's, and she had it forever, and I'm gonna keep it forever because this is one of the only things that I have left from my mom, and she loved this thing. So what I do is I line it with foil because I don't like a lot of cleanup. I don't want to be scrubbing pans and pots afterwards, so I just line it with foil just to help it out a little bit. That's totally optional. If you have a Dutch oven, you can also do this in the Dutch oven and then just put everything in the oven, but I don't have a Dutch oven, so I'm going to just go ahead and use this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more olive oil and put it in the skillet, and I'm going to add my bell pepper and onion straight to the skillet. And what you want to do is you just want to saute these a little bit. You don't want them to get, you know, all the way cooked. Just, you know, saute them up a little bit until, you know, they're nice and a little bit translucent. I am also going to add about a teaspoon of garlic to this. Alright, so you want to turn this down on low now. You want to add 1 teaspoon of tomato paste. And the last thing that you want to add, you guys, is about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I just add it straight to the pan. And I don't even measure, I just eyeball it. That looks like a teaspoon to me. Okay, you guys, so after this is all done, this is what it looks like. And what you want to do is you want to pour it straight into the roasting pan with the roast. And you guys, the last thing you want to do is you want to take one of the chicken cubes. You can use chicken broth, 1 cup of chicken broth, or you can even use beef broth. I actually don't like the flavor of beef broth, so I don't use it very often. I just use one of the little chicken cubes and just dissolve it in about a cup of water and then just pour it right around the roast. Okay guys, so what we're going to do next is we're going to just cover this and then we're going to put it into our oven. The oven is set at 300 degrees, you guys, and it's going to cook for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. An hour and 20 minutes, we'll come back and I'll show you what we do next. Okay, you guys, I am back. It has been 1 hour and 20 minutes and I am going to show you what we're going to do next. This is what the roast looks like for 1 hour and 20 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is 2 things. The juice that's in here is not thick enough for me, so I'm actually going to do something about it. So let me first, I want to flip this over. You guys, earlier I was talking about remixing my mom's recipe. Well, one of the things that she used to always do with her recipe is she would use a pack of Lipton onion soup mix, and she would put it on top of her roast before, and I make mine like that too, but this time I wanted to do a little bit something a little bit different, so I left that out. So I flipped it over, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some carrots and some potatoes. You guys, these are just little baby carrots. So I got some carrots and I got about 5 russet potatoes here. So I am going to just put those all around the roast. So now you guys, what I'm going to do at this time is I am going to take a little bit of water, and I put about 2 teaspoons, just a little bit of flour, and I'm making what's called a slurry. And what this does is it helps thicken up the gravy that you already have. So I'm just going to pour this on the bottom of, or I'm just going to pour this in over the potatoes and the carrots. And what it will do is it will thicken the gravy that's already in there. Now I am just going to cover it back up, and it's going to go back into the oven for another hour. So you guys, the thing with cooking roasts are you never really know how long they need to cook. Sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's 2.5, 3. It just depends. So what I like to do is I like to cook it for like 1 hour and 20 minutes, take it out, add the potatoes, and you know, that's usually halfway. And then after I do that, I'll put it back in the oven for 1 hour, and I just keep checking it. And you know, if I see that it needs more time, I'll just keep adding like 30 minutes on. You don't want to keep on taking out the oven and taking the top off, because it drops the temperature, and it's just not good for the cooking process. So back at the oven for another hour, and then I'll come back and let you guys see what it looks like. And it is finally ready, and I have plated it up right here. I made cornbread with it, so this is what it looks like. Roast and the vegetables and the cornbread. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and watching my mom's recipe. Thank you so much for being here with me as I share my mom's roast recipe. If you guys have any questions about this recipe, please let me know down below in the comments. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.